8 Signs You Are Wasting Your Life, and How to Stop Seneca. What if the problem was never that life is too short? 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote that life is long enough, and generously given, if you know how to use it. The problem, he said, is that we waste most of it. And here is the uncomfortable part. Most people never notice they are wasting it, because wasted time rarely looks like waste. It looks like being busy. It looks like being responsible. It looks like waiting for the right moment. Seneca compared us to people who guard their money fiercely but hand out their time to anyone who asks, as if time were the one thing we had in endless supply. So today, let's hold up a mirror. Here are 8 signs you are wasting your life, and the Stoic correction for each one. Listen closely. Some of these will sting. Sign number 1. You are always busy, but never moving toward anything. Your calendar is full. Your days are exhausting. And yet, if someone asked you what all this effort is building, you would go quiet. Seneca called this condition busy idleness. He described men rushing through the streets of Rome, sweating, important, occupied, and going nowhere that mattered. Sound familiar? Being busy is not the same as being alive. Activity without direction is just a sophisticated way of hiding from yourself. The Stoic correction is brutally simple. Stop and ask one question: busy toward what? Seneca insisted that the person who has no single aim wanders through life instead of traveling through it. So tonight, write down the one thing your life is actually for right now. If you cannot name it, that is not a failure. That is information. Direction turns motion into progress. Without it, you are just running on a wheel. Sign number 2. You live in someday. Someday you will start the business. Someday you will repair the relationship. Someday you will finally live the way you want. Seneca had a name for this: the greatest waste of life is postponement. He wrote that expectation of tomorrow throws away today, that we lose the day in hand while promising ourselves the days that fortune holds. Here is the hard truth. Someday is not a date on any calendar. It is a story you tell yourself so you never have to begin. And every time you say it, you are gambling with money you may not have, because no one has been promised tomorrow. The Stoic correction: shrink someday until it fits inside today. Not the whole dream. One step. One phone call. One page. One honest conversation. Seneca's advice was to put your hands on today and grip it, because everything else belongs to fortune, not to you. Sign number 3. Your evenings disappear into scrolling. Be honest. Where did last night go? You sat down for 5 minutes, and 2 hours vanished. Seneca never saw a phone, but he saw the exact same disease. He described people who fritter away their days on trivial amusements and then complain that life is short. He said we are frugal with our property and reckless with our time, the one possession we can never get back. Your phone is not the enemy. Unconsciousness is. 2 hours a night is 700 hours a year. That is a language. A skill. A book written. A body rebuilt. The Stoic correction is not to throw the phone away, but to choose on purpose. Decide what tonight is for before tonight begins. Rest deliberately if rest is what you need. Seneca distinguished sharply between true leisure, which restores the soul, and idle distraction, which merely drains it while pretending to be rest. Sign number 4. You say yes to everyone but yourself. Every favor. Every extra task. Every invitation you did not want. You say yes because you fear disappointing people. But notice who gets the leftovers: you. Seneca marveled at this strange arithmetic. No one, he said, would let a stranger walk off with their money, yet we let almost anyone walk off with our life, hour by hour, and never send a bill. Every yes to someone else's priority is a quiet no to your own. And people can sense an easy yes. They will keep coming, not because they are cruel, but because you have taught them that your time is free. The Stoic correction is to treat your hours like the treasure they are. Before agreeing, ask, would I trade a day of my life for this? Because that is exactly the trade you are making. Say no kindly, but say it. Your life depends on it. Sign number 5. You postpone living until retirement. You know the plan. Grind for 30 years, then finally relax, travel, and enjoy. Seneca heard this exact plan in ancient Rome and called it madness. He mocked the man who promises himself leisure at 60, asking what guarantee he has of even reaching that age, and what arrogance it takes to spend the best years on ambition and save only the dregs of life for yourself. Think about that phrase. The dregs. The tired, uncertain leftovers of a body and mind you spent decades wearing down for someone else's purposes. The Stoic correction is not to quit your job tomorrow. It is to refuse to outsource your entire life to a future decade. Build small pieces of your retirement dream into this year. The trip. The garden. The unhurried morning. Live some of it now, while living is certain. Later is a rumor. Now is a fact. Sign number 6. You cannot remember your last real day off from worry. Not a day off work. A day off worry. A day when your mind was not rehearsing disasters, replaying arguments, or bracing for bad news. If you cannot remember one, your life is being spent even when your body is resting. Seneca observed that the fearful lose today by dreading tomorrow, suffering pain in advance for things that may never arrive. He wrote to his friend Lucilius that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That is not a poster slogan. It is an audit of where your hours actually go. The Stoic correction is the discipline of sorting. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught the same core move: separate what is in your control from what is not. Act on the first. Release the second. Worry is not preparation. It is paying interest on a debt you may never owe. Reclaim those hours. They count as life. Sign number 7. You spend the most on what matters least. Look at where your money, energy, and attention actually flow. The car that impresses strangers. The clothes for people you do not like. The arguments online with people you will never meet. Now look at what gets the scraps: your health, your closest relationships, your own mind. Seneca lived in a world of staggering Roman luxury, and he saw men bankrupt themselves for marble and banquets while their inner lives sat in ruins. He argued that the soul, not the estate, is where wealth is decided, and that a man is poor not when he has little, but when he craves more. The Stoic correction is a simple audit. For 1 week, track where your time and money actually go. Then ask of each expense, does this serve the person I am trying to become, or the audience I am trying to impress? Fund your actual life. Starve the performance. Sign number 8. You know exactly what you would regret, and you do it anyway. This is the sharpest sign, because it removes every excuse. Deep down, you already know. You know the relationship you are neglecting. The health you are trading away. The dream you are quietly starving. If you imagine yourself at the end, you can name your regrets right now, in advance, with terrifying accuracy. And yet tomorrow you will do the same things again. Seneca said that people live as if they will live forever, never noticing how much time has already passed, spending it as if drawing from a bottomless well. Knowing better while choosing worse is the purest form of waste, because it is waste with your eyes open. The Stoic correction is to use death as a teacher, not a terror. The Stoics practiced remembering their mortality daily, not to be morbid, but to make today vivid. Ask each morning, if this year were my last, does today's plan survive? So where does that leave you? Maybe you recognized yourself in one of these signs. Maybe in all 8. Good. That sting you feel is not shame. It is your life demanding your attention. And here is the hope hiding inside Seneca's hard words: he never said your life was already wasted. He said it was being wasted, present tense, which means the waste can stop the moment you decide it stops. You cannot recover the years behind you, and the Stoics would tell you not to try. Grieving spilled time is just another way to spill more of it. What you have is today, this hour, the one piece of existence that is genuinely yours. Guard it like the fortune it is. Aim it at something worthy. Say no to the thieves, gently but firmly. Live now, not someday. Because life is long enough, if you know how to use it. Starting today, know how.